Okay, another update. Still just getting all the preparation ready for this next 30 days. Um, okay, so I was thinking of starting the tree, going up the tree, up the pathways. But thinking about it, there's no reason why we can't do it the other way around, and it'll give Bria some time to get her act together. Um, and also, it might be better to just go up the tree as we have been, like and looking at all the pathways as we go up the tree and how they all connect. So we can cover all the pathways in 10 days and the spheres as well, and then come back down and do a more in-depth analysis of the pathways. Spending a day on each pathway. So this first 8 days will then be the first 8 spheres going up to Saturn, and then we're going to start back along the pathways back down the tree. That'll be another 22 days. So that should make up 30 days. So that's how I'm thinking of doing it now. So briefly, I'm going to cover this the first pathway going to Saturn, which is what we're going to be going there tomorrow anyway. So I want to cover this pathway today, just so you get an idea of it and how it will work. So a brief description of how the path works. This first path, 32nd path. You basically, well, one of the versions I've done, or the version I've done actually. You'll meet up with your group of fellow travellers, like in a sort of grassy, hilly area, and then there's a cave nearby, an entrance to a cave. So you go in the entrance to the cave, and you meet this guardian who's like got a light body. Their aura sort of shines. Quite androgynous, I think. And then they take you down this journey into the underworld, like into the bowels of the earth. And you get to a certain point where you get in all these descriptions, and you hear like the astral noises and stuff like that, and there's like these little snippets of just to try and get you used to the concept of the astral plane and stuff as you're going down and down into this dark place. And then you go this along the path. You meet up with this thing called the Guardian of the Threshold, and as you're walking along, everything starts to get dark, and it's like you can almost sense, you can hear voices, you can almost feel like arms reaching out to touch you. You can feel all your fear building, the fear of the unknown and the fear of the dark. It's all building up inside you, and you start feeling paralysed and you can't move because the fear starts to overtake you. And then you take a few deep breaths. This is all part of the path working. It's not what happens, but this is how the path working is described. And so you go along with it. You sort of believe it to a certain extent. You visualise it, and your body makes it real. So then you get to this sort of like crux point where you push past your fears and go past the Guardian of the Threshold, and then you head back up into the astral plane, where you come across this like a translucent building, a 9-sided building, 9 fitting with the number 9 for the sphere of the moon. And then you'll have an experience like a tension point where you'll focus on the goddess, the female goddess, inside this translucent crystal building, and you can see her face. And there's a description of this in the video that I left for the path working video that I done. I think it was for one of the days, 30.3 or something like that. Anyway, and then after that, you've had this experience with this attention point experience with this goddess, where she will either speak to you or not, or look at you or whatever, and you'll get some sort of information and feedback or communication or something, or just a feeling. And anyway, that will last a few minutes, and then you'll like come back out of the experience. You'll just kind of wake up back where you were at the beginning, outside the cave. So you're starting again fresh back. So you've gone to this journey, you've crossed the Guardian of the Threshold, you've gone into the astral plane, the moon sphere, and then after the experience is there, it just all dissipates, and you come back and you're back where you were at the beginning of the physical plane. So that's basically how it would work. So you could visualize that process And whilst you put your magical shoes on and start charging them up and make your own path working through your imagination, you know, and spend like 15 minutes at it if you want. I mean, ideally, the other thing we're going to maybe do is yeah, go over in more detail about this. But this is going to do for the first day, and tomorrow we'll be looking at the other two paths that connect the third sphere, so that we create a triangle. So that we've already done the work for the pathway today for tomorrow's lesson. So when we go to the sphere, we have to connect the other two pathways that are going to make the next sphere, and so on. As we go up the tree, we're going to have to connect the pathways as we go to each sphere and build up the tree like that. So that's how it's going to go.